Okay. Can you guys hear me? That's in the stream? Oh, yes, you can. Can you see me?
Sounds good.
Everybody else can see, you can't see. Everybody's good? All right, we good? We good? Everybody's good? Was it a little late? Forgive me. Welcome, everybody, all Remnant members and all you that's here for the first time, second time, third time. Welcome. It's a very important class. Very, very important class. And I'm glad to be sharing it with you publicly. The Remnant, no. Don't make all that noise, okay? You hear me? Just be conscious that I'm doing a live and I can't have you doing a lot of the kids yelling like you like doing at home. So be cognizant of that, daughter. Anyway, very, very important class, very important topic. The key to love, which is the key to relationships. And we're going to go extremely deep and uncover some things as to what's going on, why relationships, marriage, and all these things don't have success. What is going on, not only in this country, but in the country in particularly, but around the world? What is going on? I have an answer for you. That's really good. I got an answer for you, right? And before I get started, I just want to say to some of my Remnant family, Cassie and Greatness, first of all, for every week offering your love, bringing food and goodies, and Cassie with her skill in baking, just blessing the Remnant. We appreciate your love and your sacrifice. That means a lot to us. Yeah. I want to thank also all the Remnant members that contribute extra week by week so that we are able to be there for other Remnant family. I appreciate that. I know that in the Christian community that the pastor may press upon you to give tithes and offering. We don't do that in the Remnant, right? If the heart is not changed, then ain't no sense in me trying to force anybody, tell you how much money to give. We don't do that over here, right? Everything we do is out of love for our culture and the community that we've created. It comes from a place of love. There's many, many people that give, and that benefits others. There's people that give extra so that some members that can't afford a month's class, and we're able to take care of that. There are members that specifically tell me, well, I don't like saying members, but family of the Remnant that specifically tell me, I don't want to be known. Just bless some other Remnant family, and you don't have to say who I am and any of that, and I appreciate that, but I don't have a problem saying who they are, but they request that I don't say who they are, and I think that's admirable, and that's character. It's something that we don't experience in our communities today, right? And we try not to allow any of that stuff in the world that we all came from, where there is selfishness, where there is people always trying to get over in you, always trying to use you. You can't be in a community of your own people and feel safe, because in the back of your mind, you got to always be feeling who's trying to get over on me, who's trying to use me, right? And so in the Remnant, we are aware of that, and it's extremely important to us that if those are the characteristics that an individual have, they need to just go right on past the Remnant and go be a part of something else, because that's something, it is unacceptable amongst Remnant. Unacceptable, right? Like I said, we are not on the streets trying to twist your arm to come be a part of what we're doing, right? And we're not going to talk you to death. My father used to say the worst death in the world is being talked to death, right? But what we do believe is that you got to bring the receipts, and the receipts is your life. What does your life look like? And in the Remnant, that's what we're looking at. We don't care about your celebrity in the world, what you done accomplished. We don't care how much money you got. That does not hold value here in the Remnant. What holds value is what you bring through your obedience and your submission to the Most High. That's the most valuable thing you could be here. That's what everyone here gives, and that's the expectation of remnant. Let me make this clear. We don't call ourselves black, white, Mexican, Indian. We don't call ourselves any of those things because we are remnant, right? Everybody is coming here that has yielded and submitted to the culture that the Most High deems. So you can't bring in whatever culture you thought you come from and think you can then name that you are a remnant. No, you're going to have to make a choice and a decision, because we ain't going to trust you if you say I'm black. We know it comes with the black community. We ain't going to trust you if you say you're Mexican or Indian or white. And no, if you ain't remnant, just keep it pushing. Just keep it pushing, right? So I just want to make that clear, right? I know a lot of Israelites out there teach a whole bunch of things, right? But the remnant is positioned ourselves to govern globally. You got to look like you're ready to govern globally. You got to have the conversation like you're ready to govern globally. Let me just say this before I get into the class. When I was doing police accountability here in Washington State, I ran up against a lot of black organizations that felt, and I understand why they felt this way, that what we're doing is just for black people, right? And they were woke or whatever. And they thought that them saying that to me or saying that to the community, that was empowering. And I would explain to them, it's not empowering, because what you're really saying is you don't have the genius to lead everybody. See, when I came on the scene, I had the genius to lead everybody, right? I just didn't have the information just to lead the black community or to help the black community. My information can help any and everybody. We have no limitations here, right? Which is why I was able to bring every community together up underneath my leadership to produce police accountability and lead the whole country in police accountability by bringing every community together. And they trusted my leadership because they know I had a message for the world. It was no limitations to what is going to apply to anybody if you apply it to your life. That's important. I just want you to understand. You could say you're going to run the world, but you ain't positioned to run the world, right? You don't have the balance within you. You don't even understand how to govern. You can't even govern your own faculties, how much more trying to govern anything else. You've never ran anything, right? You've never ran anything. I tell people all the time, I've ran a campaign before. I know what it requires to win within this system. I've ran a campaign with all different type of personalities, cultures, and the like, and had success because the remnant is here to govern the world. And I know that might seem real extreme to people out there hearing it, but that's quite normal to us. So you see us position ourselves. Our conversation is seasoned with leadership. I love it. The men and the women are seasoned with leadership. You understand? Something that you could follow into success. We're not guessing our way through it. All praises to the Most High God. The key to love. All right, give it up. The key to love. The key to relationships. Churches haven't been successful trying to keep relationships together. The world, nobody understands what's going on. Oh, but Dre about to show you today. Bring your whole mind, though. We say that often in the remnant. Why we say that? Because we know you easily distracted. But we only here for the remnant. If you easily distracted and you don't want the truth, we encourage you to go on down the road. This ain't for you. We only here for the remnant, right? But bring your whole mind. All praises to the Most High God. I come out the game. My mom was in the game, was hoeing. My daddy was pimping. This is the truth. I myself got involved in the game. I had 6 to 8 women at one time. This is the truth. And I love sharing my testimony so that others could feel free sharing theirs without any guilt, because we're in the remnant now and we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, right? But there's a reason why I want to specifically talk to you about that in particular. Somebody might say, how did you have 6 to 8 women of all nationalities wanting to be there with you? And the average guy out there have one girlfriend, and they're having a hard time with just that one girlfriend. That should make you think like, well, all beautiful, gorgeous women with this one man. What is it? Somebody might say it's got to be in the bedroom. And I'm going to tell you, nope. It's got to be some money. Nope. Well, how is this person having women, beautiful, wanting to be with just one man? And you can't have any success in your relationship with your one girlfriend. And we're going to get into it. D, give me that first scripture. And when we talking about before D goes, when we talking about this, we call it the history book, right? What Christians call the Bible, we call it our history book because it is our history book. It's a history about our people. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't believe that. I'm not concerned about what you don't believe. We're only here for the remnant. But for those who could hear, it is a history book of culture of our people walking with the Most High God. And so what religion has done, it has made you look at culture religiously. And there's a million things that you're going to miss. Because religion is just a spiritual duty. You do this, you do that, you do this. No. Culture is a lifestyle, right? So when we're getting into our culture, our history book, you're going to hear us be able to pull information that you weren't privy to, or maybe your local church would never even see it like that because they're seeing it from a religious perspective and not understanding the cultural understanding of what's really going on. Read, D.
John 8:44, AMP. You are of your father, the devil.
Mm.
And it is your practice,
Mm-hmm.
the desires,
Mm-hmm.
which are characteristic of your father.
Uh-huh.
He was a murderer from the beginning,
Right.
and does not stand in truth,
Mm-hmm.
because there is no truth in him.
Okay.
When he lies,
he
speaks what is natural to him.
It's natural to lie.
For he is a liar.
He's a liar.
And the father of lies.
Okay, that's good enough right there. Father of lies has truth. One thing I never did is lie to a woman. Let me ask you a question. How many times and how often do you lie to your woman? Maybe that could be a root, right? Somebody could say, I don't understand that. Okay, I know you don't understand. What you don't understand is the spiritual implications that happen that are controlled through lies and the behavior that is produced from lies, right? You don't understand it, but today you're going to understand it. Because what he said to us in our history book is that he was comfortable in his lies, right? And that he says, you just like him because he's your father, because he is the father of lies. How comfortable have you been just lying? How comfortable have you been in your life just lying? Okay, come on, come again, D. And just stay up here because we're just going to go through it for a minute.
Proverbs 31:3.
Bring your whole mind. We got to lay a foundation before I start breaking this thing down. I can't break it down unless I have a foundation for you to center yourself on. So I got to give you this foundation. Proverbs what?
31:3.
Mm-hmm.
Amplified.
Mm-hmm.
Give not your strength to loose women.
Woo! Hold on there. Oh my God. Give not your strength to loose women. Woo, that's heavy. What else to say?
Nor your ways to those who and that which ruin and destroy kings.
Ah, yeah. Don't give your strength to loose women or your ways. Then I just explained to you that there is a characteristic that comes from your father. There is a characteristic that is developed that you've given, how can I say it? Access to you. There's a characteristic that he's saying, listen, what you don't realize through your deception is that the lie creates a world. We say in the remnant that words have worlds. And see, what you have been deceived and hidden from is the world behind the lie. And the world behind the lie is the characteristics that destroy kings, is what he's talking about. Okay, read. Next one. Listen, bring your whole mind. We're laying a foundation.
Deuteronomy 28:20. Amplified.
Listen.
The Lord will send upon you curses.
What?
Curses.
The Lord will send upon you curses.
Confusion.
Well, wait a minute. Why? Go ahead. You're going to send upon you curses?
Confusion.
Confusions.
And rebuke.
And rebuke.
In everything that you undertake to do.
Everything?
Everything.
Okay, let's go.
Until you are destroyed. Perishing quickly because of the evil of your deeds.
That sounds like them ways again.
It sounds like it to me.
So everything is predicated upon what the lies create, the world that the lies create, the behavior that the lies create, that the average person just think, I just lied. But they don't understand the implications of the world behind the lie. Because the world behind the lie gives you a curse. Read.
Because you have turned away from me.
Whew. Read that part all over again, the whole part. Listen.
Again, it's Deuteronomy 28:20.
Mm-hmm.
Amplified. The Lord will send upon you curses.
Yes.
Confusion.
Now listen, he's explaining to you some spiritual things that are happening, right? That you can't see. I'm explaining to you how it happens, why it happens, and why you can't find love. Let's go.
The Lord will send upon you curses, confusion, and rebuke.
Hold on, wait a minute. Who gonna send?
The Lord, the Most High.
But the church, when you go to church on Sunday, you hear more about Satan and the devil than anybody. Man, the devil's doing this, and the devil did this to me, and the devil did this. But who gonna do it?
The Most High.
The Most High's gonna do it.
The Most High gonna do it.
Let's go.
I think it's because they think the Most High is Santa Claus.
I think so.
Okay.
Let's go.
Upon you, curses,
curses upon you,
confusion, and rebuke in everything that you undertake to do.
And everything that how many times you feel in your life? You could be 30, 40, and you could be 20, and you could be feeling like, well, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. Then when you get 30, it don't get no better. Then when you get 40, it don't get no better. He said he gonna do this to everything that you put your hands to. Go ahead.
Until you're destroyed.
Sheesh. He's upset about it.
He's hot.
The Most High is so upset about this that he says, I'm gonna send you curses. Why is he upset about it? Because you like your father, the devil, is what he said. Let's go.
Perishing quickly because of the evil of your deeds.
Because of the evil of your deeds. Let's go.
Because you have turned away from me.
Everything is predicated upon you turning away. What you need to understand is what the Most High considered you turning away. Not what you've been taught, not what you've been indoctrinated and socialized to believe. Because it's clear right here what he's talking about, right? It all is predicated upon you turning away. And if we can go back and read the first thing you read.
John 8:44,
Uh-huh.
Amplified.
Uh-huh.
You are of your father, the devil.
See, this is what the problem is, and this is how you don't understand how deep it is. You are of your father, the devil. Go ahead. He's about to show you the deeds now. He's going to explain to you why the significant punishment that everything you touch is not turning to gold, but it's dying. He's about to explain to you the significance of your deeds and your behavior based upon your lying.
I don't think they understand that the devil is their father.
Yeah, let's go.
And it is your will to practice the desires which are characteristic of your father.
It is your will to practice those evil deeds, to continue to be a liar. Right? Go ahead.
He was a murderer from the beginning
Let's go.
and does not stand in the truth
Doesn't.
because there's no truth in him.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, D. I said when I started that I had 6 to 8 women in and out of my household wanting to be there, desiring to be there. And what I said to you is that I've never lied to them. This is almost 30 years ago that I never lied, right? So the fact that I did not lie kept the curse off of me. See, what you don't understand is the world behind those lies, that it creates a distrust, right? It creates a distrust. I've said it a million times in our classes. I have had a lot of women that were with me that loved another man. Whew. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. I've had a lot of women that were with me that loved another man. They just didn't respect him because they were like their father, the devil. And a girl could like you, and the Most High won't add the blessing of security. Where's the security come from? You think it's coming from money. You think the security is coming from how much money you have. That's the lie that most of you have been told. That's why your focus is always, I got to get the bag so I can get the woman. Even if you get the bag and get the woman is not there because of you. The woman is there because of the bag. You understand? It's not the bag. What is developed from an individual that refuses to lie, like I've said many times in these classes, it's never about her. It is about the constitution of what I believe a man is, right? It is about guarding this man, right? And I know you guys say the king, okay? You say that very lightly without the lifestyle, without the actions, without the world that defines that you are indeed the king. Because when you begin to operate in kingship, it's nothing that you have to say to her. It's something that she will say to you. You see how that works? Because it is beneath you to say, I'm a king, I'm a man. I've never told a woman that. I'm a man, I'm a king. But they've told me that, right? So my constitution of manhood begins to create the great value. and the love and the desire, because one thing she knows is no matter what happens, under any circumstances, he will not lie to me. And based upon the fact of her knowing, he will not lie to me. I've had 6 to 8 women really not understanding where the value is coming from, why they want to be there so bad, because she feels safe, right? And she feels secure in knowing that she has the definition of a man who will never change under no circumstance towards her. The key to love, baby. The key to love. And because it's been something like to you, because that's how the enemy works. The enemy works through deception. What does that mean? He wants to sell you something that you're unaware of what you're buying. So he sold you the idea that, listen how he did this. Listen, bring your whole mind, right? He sells you, listen, you are a player if you can get away with it. Woo, come on, man. Come on, man. You got 2, 3 women over here. You're bouncing around.
The best that ever did it got away with it.
You're a player if you can get away with it. When he sells you, it doesn't matter what you got to say, because what matters most is that you get away with it. You see that? You see the deception in that, right? Instead of an individual like me who got the information, that know that words have worlds, that know the implication of the curses that I'm releasing into my life, that knowing I'm going to separate myself from the genuineness of ever finding what love is for real. And probably all I'll ever attract to me is loose women. Is loose women. And all she'll ever attract to her is lying men. So with loose women and lying men, how you gonna find the key to love? How you gonna find the key to relationships? Because the security that is required for love and relationships is not within a loose woman or a lying male. It doesn't exist in those things. It doesn't exist. So all you out there find value and have developed in yourself, the most important thing to you is to learn how to get away, how to lie the best. That's what you've learned. And you don't even understand that based on thousands of years, that there was a curse released in the earth. Because you thought you was just trying to get away. But what you really didn't understand is that the enemy deceived you into separating yourself from your God. And through that separation came the punishment of curse. And that's what's going on in your communities. The curse is prevalent. That's why you can't find love. That's why you don't even believe in love. That's why you don't believe in marriage. You don't believe in commitment. And so you've been reduced to live a life accepting the curse because you think that that is normal. You don't know it's a curse, but you don't understand that the results of the curse that you have accepted as normal was never what he wanted for you. But he's saying you are like your father, the devil. because he never wanted you to understand the weight, that heaviness of a lie. He never wanted you to understand how deep it was connected, how much it was connected to pure evil, because he had to show you what you feel is a benefit. He had to show you the benefit is for me to get away with it. And you will never find anything true to you. And you'll have to accept, this is what you will say, there's no true love. I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in commitment. Of course you don't, because you like your father. I'm not shocked by your behavior because you like your father. I'm not shocked. You practice in it. And then you come out here thinking you something special and don't even know you've been connected from the Almighty God. And not only have you been disconnected, your life has been subjected to a curse. And you don't got to believe me. You could look around the communities and you can see what's prevalent is not commitment. What's prevalent is not trust. What's prevalent is not marriage. But what's prevalent is the curse. That's what's prevalent. That's what's prevalent. And Dre's is here trying to open up to you where you've been blind and deceived. All your mind has been focused on what you have considered an advantage without understanding that it has purely impacted the idea of your manhood. It has impacted your ability to draw women that understand your value. So now all you do all along is complain that she doesn't understand your value. All day long, they don't understand your value. They don't understand you a man. They don't understand you important. But when you stand and you guard the institution of manhood, first thing, we don't lie. Because a woman is not important enough to jeopardize what God has created first in the earth. Show yourself to be a man. And then he's instructing you, give not your strength unto loose women. And you might say, how am I doing that? Because you keep lying. Because you like your father. They don't got nothing where there's expectation when they come around you. Any women that's ever came around me because of the standard and the principle by which I stood on, when they came, there was expectation because I was the standard. Nobody's important enough for me to lie to. And I was so conscious of my behavior. I was so conscious of my behavior because I knew if I stooped below what God had made man to be, then not only would I lose the respect and the value that the woman is supposed to have in the ideal man, but also I'm going to be cursed too. And then you walk around and all you hear in the women's groups, women talking and then dudes talking, and all they do today is complain. Look at the women this, look at the women that, just straight complain without holding the accountability of what is ideal about a man. First things first, stop lying. Stop it! And then you can build manhood around that, because you can't build manhood that God instituted around your father, the devil. You can build a conniver. You can build a conniver. You can build a user. You can build a manipulator, but you'll never find true love. And so much so that you will even say and convince yourself that it don't even exist. That it don't even exist. I said the message is the key to love. Are you understanding it? How it's in your hands? Listen, it's always been in your hands. It's been in your hands to stand on or to violate. And like I said, I had 68 women coming in and out of my house. And they knew, even though I was in the game, what they understood about me to this day. And I still have friendships with a lot of them. And I've been married this year 27 years. And my wife, when we first got together, I would tell her, I said, listen, I still have relationships, not sexual relationships, but relationships, because some of the women that were with me, we have children, right? And they weren't like angry with me, because during the relationship that we had together, like most of you, the women can say, I don't like him. They start talking about you like a dog, first thing, because you're such a liar. That is the prominent voice that goes around the country and gives them justification, right? For their what? For their scorn. The scripture says that hell has no fury, our history book, like a woman scorned, right? I'm going to break this down for you just a little bit. Hell has no fury. In other words, you know the idea of hell. Nobody wants to go, right? But in our history book, the Most High said, listen, I want to give you the idea of hell, and you don't want to go there. But it has no fury like a woman scorned. And you might hear that in a Christian church and not understand really what he's saying. What he's saying is that when you're like your father, the devil, and you've lied, because you've only saw that as something light, right? You never ever had the weight of how much it impacts you as a man, and then everything that you touch around you. You never understood how heavy it was, right? So he says, hell has no fury like a woman scorned. When a woman feels justification of her anger, is what he's saying. When you have been out of bounds and you have sat there and lied to her, and now what you have in your relationship is disrespect, right? And a woman is talking to you any kind of way, right? And you think that your apology is supposed to fix it. But now you have a woman that the scripture declares hell has no fury like a woman scorned, justifiable in her attitude, disrespect towards you. And when a woman feels justified, boy, you in trouble. The depths that she will go for her justification of her scorn, because you presented yourself like your father, the devil. That's what God is saying. That's what he's trying to protect you from. He's trying to make you understand that the lie like your father is so deep. The chaos that's created simply by your lie. And when that woman feels justification, you're a done deal. Look at some of the celebrities. Look at situations in your own communities. See, it's not that you could say this. You could say this, because I want you to really be clear about this. You could say this. You could say, but I didn't do anything, right? That's the throwaway line that guys, use. So I'm gonna throw something back on you. It's not as much as what you think you didn't do. It's that she feels that you did. That's why it's so important to stand on the integrity of truth. Because you ain't even got to worry about, well, she thought or you thought, and no, because your standing is truth. And she is unequivocally in the know about you are a man that refuses to lie. It will never get to the secondary. The primary is you standing in truth and reflecting that. The secondary is trying to deal with the problems that come because you wouldn't stand it in your primary. Do you understand? So when you go to your secondary, boy, there's no excuse. Now you operating in a secondary when you had the power in your primary to stand in this truth, but you didn't. Because all you wanted to do is what the devil told you a win was. That's all. You just needed to win. And your win was whatever lie I could tell for her to believe, for me to continue the behavior that I'm operating in without understanding the weight of the consequence that goes along and the curse that goes along with your behavior. And it was all in the hands of a man. It was all in the hands of a man. And you fumbled. And the communities are fumbled. And all there is lying males and loose women. That's what is offered you today's time. Do you understand? Give not thy strength into a woman. The only way that can proceed, the only way that could happen is that you operate like your father, the devil. That's how you're giving your strength. You didn't see it like that because all you was thinking about was getting away with your lie. But when you got away with your lie, you just made her be bigger man than you. That's all you did. She's a bigger man than you. You see how you was deceived? And the land is filled with individuals like this. I was looking at a little podcast with what's the ball player, Matt Barnes. And I'm not picking on Matt, but he got his woman, she's beautiful, he just had a baby and all that, but he was out there being like his father, the devil. And when he was on the podcast, like, I'm not picking on him, but I want to use him as an example. Like many males, he start giving reasons about how he was in the past. He's never learned how to cry. He'd never, learned how to be communicative and all this kind of stuff. And I wrote a message underneath the podcast. And I said, nah, bro, that ain't what it is. I said, what it is you've been sold the idea of what you think success is. See, you've been sold the idea of what you think success is, and you have gone after that and achieved that, right? And now you can't pull out of you the necessary ingredients of manhood. You ain't got the passion for it. Your passion was what you were sold, the idea of success. You don't have the passion to pull out of you what we're talking about today. I said, that's what the issue is, right? He said, I jeopardized my family. I jeopardized all this. I didn't do this and woo, 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 woo. Okay, that's a story that's a million people have said. But the answer is, you're not driven like you were in basketball. You're not driven about manhood with the same fire and fervency you had for what you thought success was, right? But in this remnant, Men are driven to stand on absolute truth. We're more driven here than what you are driven for success, what you consider success. How can I prove it? How can I prove it? The scriptures, our history book says, and they love their lives. Pull that up, D. That's in is it Revelations 12:2? Something right there. And they love not their lives even unto death. If you pull that up, the whole thing will come up. Listen to this. In our culture, what I'm trying to teach you about, there is this fervency and this desire and this fire for excellence in manhood, right? That's the excellence. That's the desire. That's the excitement. Just like somebody out there is going for the bag in business. Somebody out there is going for the bag in basketball, singing, rapping, or whatever. Here, you got it? Come on. Stay on this side where the mic is.
And they overcame and conquered him.
Scripture and verse.
Revelation 12:11.
Mm-hmm.
And they overcame and conquered him because of the blood of the Lamb
Uh-huh.
and because of the word of their testimony.
Bring your whole mind.
For they did not love their life and renounce their faith even when faced with death.
Thank you. You see how powerful that is in this remnant? That is just the status quo. What he's saying is that this truth in which we stand by is so important for us that we're willing to give our life before we violate it. And that's the thing that makes you find love. Oh, that was good right there, how that came back around like that Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that makes you find love. When a woman sees a man so committed to truth that he's willing to give his life for it, what other kind of security could she ever ask for? She got a winner in every capacity of the word. She feels safe with him, comfortable with him, because she understands what a man is by his definition, by what he stands for. I'm willing to die before I compromise any of this manhood. All praise to the Most High God. Amen. Amen. Huh? Okay, that's okay. But I want to make sure any remnant members wanted to say anything. Anybody had anything on their heart that they want to share?
I'll share some real quick.
Okay, come on, hold on. Come on, daughter. She wanted to say something. Come on. What you want to say, baby?
Hi, Remnant. I'm so sorry to be on the class.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Just talk.
Okay.
Don't get too close. Right there.
This time I want to say,
Talk to him, baby.
do you want to share something or do anything or anything you want
Amen.
to just, amen.
You can do anything you want. You can share anything you want to share, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I love you. Thank you, daughter. Amen. That's all?
Amen.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I have lied to a woman before. And I can tell you right now,
Put that on your thing. You don't have to hold that.
believe it or not, I have lied to a woman before. And I can tell you right now, I don't want that kind of smoke no more.
That's right.
It's been a while, a long while, but man, it didn't end well. And not just because of whatever disposition she had towards me, but the things that it opened up in my life, the things the Most High allowed to take place in my life, not even so much the enemy as me getting worn out by the Most High because of this information, right? See, it's this information that'll put you in a chokehold when you step outside the boundaries of it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a perfect track record in that area. And I can give this testimony. And when it's said that it's better that you never even heard this information than to hear it, see it work, and not use it, those words couldn't be truer.
Anybody have anything else? Si, we ain't heard from you in a while, bro.
Yeah.
Give Si that microphone.
I think, come on, Si. I think greatness wants to say something after you.
Greatness? Oh, okay.
All right, my name is Cy, Remnant since about 2-3 years ago. I just want to switch subjects and just talk about my journey of power with the Remnant. I believe that my time with the Remnant has 10x my life, and it's been nothing but power ever since. So on a day-to-day basis, I'm walking in power. And that comes from being in the classes, studying the classes, and actually doing the math. So I call him Professor Dre. He doesn't know this, but Gorgeous Dre, Andreltaylor, as you guys know him, when he first unfolded SNO, Submission and Obedience, about 2-3 years ago in the OnlyFans page, it threw me for a loop because I went into the dictionary and started looking up submission and obedience. But it wasn't until through revelation that submission and obedience became a definition from a remnant standpoint. When I got that definition, then another thing came. He started talking about situations and circumstances. Blew my mind. I didn't know what that meant. So I looked in the dictionary again. But it wasn't until, again, through a remnant definition that I was able to see, okay, I had to do the math. This plus this equals this. And he had the life to show it. So then when I put those two together, my own situations and circumstances came to me, but I no longer reacted to them in the way that I was taught by the indoctrination. I had to respond with this information. So what I want to say is now is that over the years and even up to this time now, I didn't make the journey to Seattle with my brothers. I didn't move. I'm still back in LA. But there's one thing that I had to do to become remnant. I had to leave something behind. I had to leave the indoctrination behind. That was a real thing that I had to do. And every remnant member has to do that. You cannot be in the remnant and still hold on to the indoctrination.
Talk about it.
And so that is something that I left behind. And I can stand in front of all remnant, even if they have whatever, how they feel about it, it doesn't matter because I know that I'm truly remnant because I'm dealing with the enemy.
That's right.
The enemy is on an everyday basis, and there's situations and circumstances, 2 situations and circumstances that happened just this year, like a roller coaster. When you look at the roller coaster and your heart drops, and then you get on it, and then your heart goes up, that happened to me 2 times this year. But here's the thing. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I know what to do. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but when it came, I know what to do. This is the power that happens in the remnant. So I'll just leave you guys with that.
Oh, praise it. Hold on, we got some more remnant that's about to pop out. All praises. Sharp.
Of course, I brought up the all white so I can stand in my truth, you know. But I want to piggyback off what Sai was talking about, leaving the indoctrination at home or just leaving it before you step out into this remnant. And it's a verse in the Bible. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For it is time for judgment to begin with God's household. And if it begins with us, what will the outcome be for those who do not obey the gospel of God? So before I came out on my journey out here, you know, because a lot of us going through this information and going through the class, it's cool to step out, go to the conference, you know, you get fly, and then you go back home. And yeah, you in class, but you still living, you know, you still half-stepping in that indoctrination. So me coming out here, I try to hold on to some of my indoctrination. You know, I was, working, and I was living comfortable, trying to get my, my house together and everything like that. Then we got the word, step out, come out this way. So even coming out this way, you know, still trying to hold on to some money and okay, cool, I just got my income tax check and all this and that. But before I came here, the last couple of dollars I had for my income tax, I spent that on bringing the old school out here. So just had surgery. So, you know, I'm getting a disability check. So I said, okay, yeah, when I get out there, I'm gonna be cool. You know, had a job lined up when I got here and, you know, oh, okay, yeah, this gonna be a breeze. When we got here, all that failed. The job wasn't ready yet. They cut my disability stop like 2 weeks after I got here. So now all my expectation is on the Most High. I have my own expectations, but the Most High had his own. And I had to stand on that. And even with dealing with that, he was okay, yeah, you thought you was gonna bring that indoctrination out here. You thought you were gonna be able to stand on what you was used to standing on. How you gonna stand now? And I had to stand even taller.
That's right.
Well, you know what? Let's go.
Yes.
So even with that, it's funny. My daughter had got some food stamps. So, but with the stamps, we really didn't have no food. So but you know how the stamps go. You had that, and after a week or two, it's gone. You know, and see, like now we have more food in the house than we did when we had the stamps. You know, just relying on that system. And everything that we had, the Most High would take it away from us and be like, okay, what you gonna do now?
Oh, praise.
And we still trying to figure it out. And then it's like, man, look, we got to give it up, just see what the Most High gonna do. And then it will open up.
Wow.
And it's, you know, and just like understanding God's timing with me looking at it, a lot of times it don't have to do with the timing, it has to do with the experience. You know what I mean? And what is time? Time is motion. So it's okay, well, I'm gonna see how you're gonna deal with this situation to this situation. Okay, then how you gonna deal with this situation? And at the same time, you letting off, you taking off that dirty rag and you putting on this clean rag, and then you dropping off that dirty rag. And the whole time it's like, it's how is the Most High looking at me?
That's right.
And keeping that spirit going and bringing that into the world. So it's like whatever you're doing, it's not how everybody else is looking at me. It's how am I pleasing to the Most High? You know. And of course, that's why I got on the white, all white, because he blessed me tonight.
Oh.
So, you know.
Oh, crazy.
Great.
All right, so trying to think of where I'm gonna take it. You know, D just threw me out there. So I'm gonna start on my transition out here and my transition out the game. Right. So, D, when I meet you? 2 years ago? Okay, so so I started 2 years ago. I met D in the game. I was in the game, you know, and I'm how can I say it? So there's two there's two sides of the lifestyle. So you have the ones that's just trying to do whatever they can to make something happen, and then you have structured and exhibiting manhood, right? So I'm on this side, right? At first, you know, I'm not trying to hear nothing. Don't talk to me. Go out and get some money. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I had. So when I met D, he's talking about manhood and the Most High, and I'm like, okay, I hear you, but I'm trying to get some money. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm seeing results on listening to the information, and then the information that I don't listen to, I get smacked on. You know what I'm saying? Like a dad just slapping your hand. So I feel that and I see that. So then I go back to the information. So I'm on that I'm floating on that scale, you know, listening and not listening and listening. So I decided to, you know, listen, and I see some changes in my life. And I want to say about a year ago, you know, me and me and D was outside the strip club, and we was talking, and he was talking about me being emotional, and it got to a point to where it got not physically serious, but it was real intense. You know what I'm saying? So then he brought up my kids, and with my kids, I was at a point to where baby mama was tripping, so it is what it is, right? So he was telling me how that wasn't exhibiting manhood, and it got it was real serious, right? So it made me want to go ahead and get back with my kids. So that, following up months later, we had the first conference in Vegas. So I go to Vegas. I'm with my cousin. I'm at my cousin's house, and I get my kids. So baby mama took me off child support. I'm right there with the kids, and how they were with their mom. She would work them, and she just put them in daycare. So they weren't getting the information. They weren't sitting down doing their homework. They were failing in school. So at that point, when I seen that, I decided to stay. So now I'm right there with them every day. We on this homework, military dad, structured. And they end up I want to say it was 3-4 months until the end of the school year, and they passed that. They got I don't want to say honor roll, but they got their certificates of completion, and it was a good thing. So I was over there at my cousin's house, and I was sleeping in their back room, just figuring out my next move, because I'm in the game, and now I got to be stagnant because of the kids, and now I'm just like, okay, let me sit down and let me figure out what I'm about to do. So I decided to stay in Vegas, and now I'm looking for a spot. And then I couldn't find one, so I asked D. He found a spot. We moved into it, but before that, I had a dream. That I was I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do, and once I did it, or before I started to do it, it's like all of Vegas was on fire, and I just started running. I ran to the edge of Vegas, and I looked back, and it was like, what do you call it? So you got Top Golf, you got those pillars, right, with nets on it, those tall pole-like beams, whatever, right? So I seen that, and I remember in the dream just asking myself, like, what the heck is this? And then I wake up. So the spot that D had, he showed me. We got in, did the application, we got in smooth. And one day I'm taking the dog and the kids out for a walk, and I just see exactly what I seen in the dream. And I'm looking at it like, okay, that's something right there. All right. And now fast forward a little bit, I talked to D again. Oh, you still being emotional, this, that. And I'm like, okay. So then that night we got off the phone. I prayed to the Most High. I'm like, get this emotion out of me. Go to sleep, wake up. My mom she texted me, and I ain't talked to her about 5, 6, 7 years prior to her hitting me up. And that was very emotional for me, because how we were. She wasn't really in my life. I'm saying I got my own kids. I'm not trying to deal with that type of thinking. So I know that was the emotional part that the Most High wanted me to conquer. So we talked for a little bit. She asked me to go see her, and I said okay, but I wasn't really even trying to tackle that yet. All right, so fast forward a little more, she dies. So I'm like, okay, I had the opportunity. The Most High had allowed that to happen, right? He allowed her to pass away, right? But before that, he gave me my chance. And I'm saying, and didn't take it, but things happen. And what else after that? So then, fast forwarding, a couple months after that, after we come from LA, Andreltaylor is going to sit up here and say, you know, when you're still in the mud, the enemy still has access to you.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay. I knew from right then and there, like, okay, it's time to get up out the game.
Mm.
Right. So before I even made that decision, I think back on the dream. I think back about my mom. I think about my kids. I'm thinking about everything that led me to making this decision. And I know it wasn't just words because of what I already received. And I seen the benefits of it. So once he said it, it was done. I'm saying I dropped it, walked away. And at that time, I think we had like $600. I'm saying rent was due. You know, I was in a game at the time. So, you know, rent 2,300, car note 700. I'm saying just living life a certain way. And now all that stops. So now I'm like, okay, what's next?
Mm.
I'm saying, so now we're trying to scramble and figure out the next steps and what to do. And then, so I started applying for jobs, and I get a call back, and it was a job in Texas. And so I'm like, okay, we got $600. By that time, I don't think we just had twos and fews, just trying to, you know, just keep it going. So we behind on rent about a month and a half. We texting the landlords, hey, give us an extension, right? And so the job called me, fill out the application, everything is good, but the background check takes like a week. But I did the background check first. It came back. I messed up on something, so I had to wait a whole week before it to clear. But somebody else already, they was looking at somebody else for the job. There was only one position, and they're waiting on is their background check too. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm just here. So now I'm facing not getting this job because I needed it. You know what I'm saying, because the rent was due. You know, I had all these things to do, and so now I'm like, okay. I go to sleep one day, and what's that story when I forgot who his name, I forgot all of that, but he told the Most High when Gideon, right? So he put a fleece outside. He said, if you wake up and the fleece is wet and the ground is dry, I think it was go to war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then that happened, and he said, let's do it one more time. If the ground is wet and the fleece is dry, then I'll do what you want me to do. So I kept that in my mind, and I went to sleep. Before I went to sleep, I'm like, okay, Most High, I got this AC fan right on the side of the bed.
Mm.
Right. So I'm like, okay, Most High, if I wake up and it's off, I'm going there without even having a job.
Mm.
I mean, I'm qualified for it, but it's that background check and just the wait. So I'm like, okay, if this fan is off, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So I woke up, the fan was off. Bro, that thing never turns off. I keep that thing on high, it don't turn off. So I'm like, okay, I might have hit something wrong. I probably, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm calling D like, hey, bro, like, okay, this happened. So I'm saying, well, what's the deal? So talk for a little bit. I think we only had maybe $200 because I did a side job on Craigslist, and I just hit the road. I'm saying I think it was 20 hours down there to Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas. It was a solar job. And I slept in a truck for, I want to say, what, 4 days, just in a car, just waiting on them to say my background clear, because my background is clear. You know what I'm saying, I don't do none of that crazy stuff. So after 5 days, they called me. I told them I was down here. I'm sleeping in the car. I'm just waiting. I was like, oh, you're down there already? I didn't tell you that. I'm here. I'm saying, so after that, everything was cool. I'm talking about every paycheck that I got, man, had to go on bills. I was hot. You know what I'm saying? And that went on for about 3-4 months.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then he made the call to come down here to Seattle. It was no question. You know what I'm saying, the Most High got me the job. I got out the game clear, and everything that I've experienced said that this is the right thing to do, and I'm just jumping on that word.
Mm.
I don't care about none of that. So we're making our provisions down here, and we got a spot down there in Longview now. And before we even came, I'm like, the way it was set up on the map, it was just a house, and then underneath it, it's another house, and you got you got white folks staying there, right? So I'm like, okay, this is in the middle of nowhere. I'm black, so I just had those type of thoughts. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm saying, but it was $1,600 a month, easy. I'm saying everything was perfect, but in my head, I'm like, I don't know. This is too sketchy for me. I don't know, but I did it anyway. We got there. It's the best place that we've really ever been, and that was my transition here. That was that.
That's nephew. That's why. But he got a name. He got a name from all that. What we call him? Man of faith. That's a cold-blooded name, boy. The man of faith, baby. I want to say something. There was a statement from Mr. GT. He was like, "Are they reading out of the Christian Bible?" That's a misnomer. We're reading out of the Israelite culture. Before Christianity existed, the Most High appeared unto Abraham, and through Abraham created Israelites, right? Who we are. We're not just Israelites, we are the remnant of the Israelites. If you read in the history book, it says, though the Israelites may number like the sands of the sea, only the who? The remnant will be saved. Only the remnant will be saved. What's up, daughter?
Hi.
You go pray this way. Okay.
Okay. Ooh, hold on. Where do I stand? Right here? Okay. Hi, I'm Julia. Okay. Ooh, hold on. I didn't even think about this.
Let's go, baby.
I'm Julia. I'm their daughter-in-law. Their daughter. Dang, I didn't even think. Hi, family. I
Hey.
haven't really got to look at your faces. I'm like, okay, hold on. Hi.
Pop out on them.
So,
You got all support.
what I want to talk. There's something I want to talk about specifically, but I want to get into who I am real quick. So I'm Julia. I grew up in a Mexican household. It was kind of, my house was kind of like broken a little bit because I lived in Colorado. I moved to Colorado when I was like 15 days old with my mom, and then she had some problems with my dad. We moved back to my grandma's, and it was good for a minute until, my mom met my stepdad, and she got with him. I was 7 years old, got with him. Then it kind of started getting ugly at the house, so I kind of was I got into the system, the foster system. And I had, everybody's different, like, every kid's different stories and stuff. And then eventually I was able to get back with my grandma. And I went through a lot of stuff at a young age. I didn't understand it at first. I didn't know what I was going through yet until I was like 13, maybe. Then I was like, hold on. I was sexually abused by my stepdad, and yeah. Hold on. Let me conquer this real quick. Let me see. So I was sexually abused by my stepdad for a very long time, up until 14. So it started happening when I was like 9. I didn't really know what was going on, but kind of clicked to me, kind of didn't. And then when I was 13, I was like, no, hold on. This isn't right. Like, what's going on? This isn't right. This isn't right. And I had told my mom about it at a certain time, and she kind of like brushed it off. She's like, okay, girl, bye, you tripping. Like, you don't know what's going on. You're tripping. And then at 13, I went back into the system because the house I kind of grew up in was kind of like it was a lot of people, different people staying there. And then it was like I grew up kind of like in a hoarder house a little bit. So I would go to school with like rashes and stuff, and like, you know, they would call like CPS like to do a welfare check, and then eventually they took me out again, and I would run away from the foster home because I'm like, bro, like I'm not about to be with these people. Like I don't know these people. I'm gone. So I used to you know, text on Kick. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like an old app. Like I don't know if it even still exists, but I used to go on there, and I used to go on like Facebook and like message these old men, and you know, eventually I had met one, and I had ran away with him. I was about 13. Ran away with him, and then he took me to Salinas, which is in California, and then I was prostituting myself at 13 in Salinas as a kid. I was like, hold on, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, is this even worth it just because I don't want to be in a foster home, you know? And so that happened for a minute, and he was like, you know, we're going to do this, da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, now let me try to get away from this. So one time when I went outside, you know, and went to go do something and try to get some money or whatever, I told this guy, I was like, hey, I'm 13. Like, I want to go. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm not supposed to be right here. Like, can you take me home? Like, please take me home. Like, and then he was like, okay, da-da-da. You know, he gonna want something out of me first. So that happened, and I finally got away. And then when I got away, that's when I started doing like drugs. I started doing heavy drugs. I started, you know, doing cocaine, smoking weed, drinking. I'm 14, 15, drinking, you know. And then at 15 years old, I had met a guy, and then he is about 20, 28, 15 years old, 28. Met him, and then we started relationship or whatever. Got pregnant, and then yeah, that's that. And whew. Hey. Okay, sorry. Then I was still in the system. So then yeah, I was still in the system, and
Yeah, you're helping yourself.
you know what? Yeah, sure, that's true. So, oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Hey, sorry.
That's okay, because you
So I
got to get all that stuff up out of there. It's deep,
Yeah.
and we got your back.
Yeah, so I was in the system, and then I was pregnant, and then I couldn't. Obviously, I wasn't stable enough to take care of what I needed to take care of. My son and you know, he went with his dad. Had a baby, went with his dad, stayed there. Then I started really doing heavy drugs. I started doing MDMA. I started doing acid. I was like, I just want this to go away. Like, I just want to stop thinking about everything I'm going through. And I was partying, and I had a good foster home around 16, 17. I had a really good foster parent, very good foster parents, amazing people. I love them till this day, no matter what. I was doing a lot of drugs. They had found out again. I had stopped for a minute. I was sober for a few months. I stopped for a minute. They got me straight. They got me in school, and I was straight. And then I had fell again. And this was, I can't say it was peer pressure because it was my choice. I chose to do it, but I was hanging around people that were around it too much. So I was like, okay, well, let me just get back to doing it. Why not? Let me pop a Zen in here and take a shot there and drink here, and you know what I mean? So I started doing that again. And I was about to age out. I was about to be 18. And we were on the process of getting adoption papers because they were thinking about adopting me, right? So we were talking about it. I got my hopes up. I'm like, okay, I'm about to have some parents that I love my mama. Let me say that, make that clear. I still love my mama no matter what she put me through. That's still my mom. I love her. I'll get to that in a minute. But so with that, with them, I'm over here like, yeah, I'm gonna get a family and stuff. I aged out. They had my bags packed up. When on my birthday, they had my bags packed. And they said, we're not gonna go through with the adoption papers. We're not gonna extend the fostering care or whatever. We just think it's a good idea for you to just go. It's not gonna work. We love you, but it's not gonna work. You're back into doing drugs. I don't want that around my kids, because they had 2 other daughters. They were like, I don't want that around my kids. And I'm like, well, damn, like, y'all just got me. I'm over here like, I thought y'all would even try to fight for me or like help me out, send me to rehab. That wasn't an option. You guys never brought me, oh, you know what, Julia, we're gonna put you into rehab and we'll work it out. Nope, they had my bags packed on my 18th birthday. And from then on, I just started hanging out with the wrong crowd, drinking. Not just went straight to drinking, doing drugs, straight drinking, doing drugs. I went to jail for doing something stupid. Some would say it's I don't know. It's a jealousy thing. It's a jealousy thing. I had shot my ex in his leg because I caught him texting his ex, being back with his ex or whatever. So shot him in his leg, went to jail, and I was fighting that for a minute. Then I started hanging out with the wrong crowd again, and I ended up running from the police and crashed my car. I crashed my car running from the police, and then to find out, because how paranoid I was because of the drugs, I was paranoid that the police was behind me and about to pull me over. And I'm like, dang, I got these drugs. I got some guns in the car. I'm with these people. I don't know what they got going on. So I'm running from the police, running for nothing. Then to find out, when I had crashed the car, they were like, what were you running from? We was not even going to stop you. And I'm like, well, dang, ain't that something, huh? I just ran for nothing. I'm just paranoid just because of the drugs, So then I started hanging out with these other people back in San Jose, and I went to I started dancing at these ghetto clubs and ghetto after hours, and it was just disgusting. And that time I was really, really, really on drugged to the max. I can't even remember most of the stuff I was going through when I was in that environment, right? And then fast forward, I had met Kylan, and I really don't even remember that night. Really, I don't, because I was on cocaine and I was on MDMA, and I had I was drunk as heck. Man, I was drunk, and I was doing that because of everything that was going on, and I was like, dang, I'm living from couch to couch. I'm just trying to find a safe space, trying to find somewhere where I could just lay my head at. If I got to do something for it, I'm going to do it, just because I just want to sleep. I just want to go to bed, do something, just go to bed, eat, right? And so the day I met Kylan, I had woke up, and there was this guy in my room, and I was like, I don't know what happened. I even told Kylan, I said, I just woke up to this guy in my room. I don't know what happened. I'm like, what the heck? I just don't remember. I really don't. And anyway, so I got into the game with Kylan, and he got me off drugs. He got me clean. I got clean, and then I started learning. I really started getting into a relationship with the Most High, right? I started trying to understand who the Most High is, because I grew up in a Catholic household, but I started falling on my faith with him because of the stuff that was happening. I was like, well, if God is real, why he let him do that to me? If God is real, why do people like that exist? And so I fell on my faith because of that. Dang. And so thank you. So I fell on my faith because of that. And then I went through a lot of stuff in the game as well, because I was in the game. I've been raped, robbed, almost kidnapped, and but I had conquered that. I'm tell you, I conquered that like a beast, okay? Because when that had happened, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna let that man that raped me take that away from me. He's not gonna take that away from me. He's not about to tear me down. I'm not gonna let that be my story and be, oh, I'm gonna fall back because this guy did that to me. And no, dude, F you and the enemy, go away. Like, I don't care about that. Like, man, like, ooh, I don't care about my stepdad. I forgive him, and I not forgive him because I forgive him for myself. That he got to take that up with the Lord. I don't know what he got going on, but that's out of my system. Bye, you know what I mean? But anyway, so conquered a lot. Then I started falling back again. I started drinking again, like a couple months before I was pregnant with Judah. I started drinking again because there was times I'm like, dang, what? Like, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? Like, what's this for? Like, I feel gross. There was times I feel gross again, and so I started drinking again, and then I got pregnant with Judah, and then I stopped because obviously I'm like, I don't know what. I was confused at first. I was like, dang, is this something I want? Like, but I was like, nope, yep, this is something I want. But I'm gonna have this baby, right? And then stuff just started. Stuff was happening to me in my pregnancy. I went through a lot in my pregnancy. Like, I used to faint a lot in my pregnancy. I had a thyroid issue as well. So I had a lot going on with Judah when I was pregnant with him, and I had the opportunity to, not the opportunity, I was able to come live with them, with my parents, my real parents, because that's what they are. And I got the opportunity to move with them, and then I really started connecting myself with who I am and
That's right.
who the Most High is, and he started really moving for me in my life. Even though I was in a place where I felt like I don't want to feel like a burden. I don't want to, I kind of felt I was in a place like it wasn't where I wanted to be because I was in the game as well. And I was like, dang, I felt like I didn't get nothing out of it. So I'm like, dang, like I'm back with living with basically my parents, which I was living like from house to house already, right? So I'm like, dang, I'm back to doing this, and I'm pregnant and whatever, right? And Kylan was incarcerated, so I felt like for a moment in time, I felt like I was going through it alone. So then, fast forward a little bit, I had Judah, right? I gave birth to Judah, and then I really was like, okay, Lord, this is what I'm gonna go through, right? This is what I'm gonna go through with, right? So I'm like, okay, I got love, I got family, and then I started really getting in touch with the remnant, with us, and understanding who we are, right? And then I was like, hold on. I just realized I got the family I always wanted.
Oh, praise.
And even though it wasn't, and even though it's like, dang, like I was just like, oh, damn, I just want a relationship with my mom. I just want a relationship with my real family, like my blood family. I just want them to love me. I just want them to care for me. But I've never, ever felt this much love, because you guys were strangers at first, and now we family. I never felt so much love from y'all, like from anybody, and it's just I just got the family I always wanted, and that's you guys. That's you guys, right? And so the Most High just started moving for me, but he did put me. There was a challenge I was going through, but I thought it was my challenge, but it was my son's challenge. It's what he's going through. And I'm like, dang, why would you throw this on me? So my son He has seizures, right? He has epilepsy. And I'm like, I felt like, why is this happening to me? I'm over here like, why is this happening to me? Not understanding, like, it's happening to my son. This is not about you. This is about your son. And this is his story. Don't take that away from him. Don't take that away. That is not your struggle. That is not what you got to go through. That's his story. That's his story to tell later on, right? And so I was like, let me. It's not my story. It's not my challenge. It's his, whatever, right? Because I was always like, why me? Why me? Why again? Why is this happening to me again? Right? And then I'm going through these struggles, and I'm like, dang, I'm like financially going through it, and I'm like, you know what? I gave up. This is really what I want to talk about. I had failed. I went outside of my covering, and I'm talking about I let temptation, I let the enemy get to me. I let him get to me, all because I was so much in my head, and that just opened the door for the enemy to come in, and I let him in. So I went outside of my covering, and I had left. To go try and make some money, even though that's not what happened. I just ended up being with my friends, and I got to see the bright side of it. I got to see my grandma and my mom, but I had went outside of my covering. And then when I realized what I did, I'm like, hold on, why did I do that? I'm realizing as I'm over there and back in California, I'm like, why did I do that? Because stuff started happening to me again. I'm like, okay, now I'm about to go back home. Like, I miss my son. I'm about to go back home. And then the Most High was like, girl, no, you just fell. I'm about to make this hard for you. So I couldn't get back home because there was a rainstorm. I couldn't get back home. And then also my car kept dying. It was just a lot going on that I couldn't get back home. And finally, when I was able to get back home, I was kind of still like, I said, nope, nope, let me bounce back. Hold on, let me bounce back. So I bounced back, and I had bounced back a little bit, and then I seen the Most High moving for me. He was moving for me, and because it's the thing is about when you fall, it's about getting back up, right?
That's right.
It's not about if you fall. Now, if you stay down there, that's on you.
Talk about it.
That is on you. Now, if you get back up and you move, as long as you move, the Most High gonna move for you.
That's right. Amen.
You know? And so I'm like, I'm getting back on my grind. I'm like talking to the Most High about stuff. I'm like, you know what, Lord, I need you to take this away from me. I'm just talking to him, having conversations between me and him, right? He's moving for me. And then fast forward, I got an opportunity to get a job. And so I'm like, okay, Most High, I see you. You over here opening these doors for me. Hold on, let me walk through this door real quick. Let's see what this got going on. I'm just about to step in real quick, right? So I got this job, and I'm still working at this job, and it's just going good. And I just see the Most High moving for me in so many ways, as well as for Judah too, because he's man, I see the Most High moving for him, and I love it. And anyway, so fast forward, I got this job, and now I'm training to be a supervisor.
That's right.
So I say that to say that when you fall, you get back up and you move, the Most High gonna open them doors for you, no matter what you go through. You can't. Now the thing is too. Also, I wanted to say, you can't keep blaming your past or trying to bring back your past for. You can't be making them as your excuse.
That's right.
To do something, right? Because I used to do that a lot. I used to be like, well, I went through this. Well, my brother died so my brother had died from drugs, right? He overdosed. Oof.
That's right. Let him out, baby.
Dude, that's something I don't really talk about too much because it's hard, but I used to be like, well, when I used to do drugs, I used to be like, well, my brother died. I'm gonna do drugs because my brother died and I miss him. I'm gonna do drugs because my stepdad did this to me. I just want to get away from it, right? You can't use that as an excuse to do something that you know it's not right. You know it's not right, so don't make excuses for it, right? So, yeah, anyway, so I conquered that. There's a lot of stuff I conquered, and I didn't really realize it until I really started having deep conversations with Andre and Dove. And yeah, so I conquered a lot of stuff, and all praise to the Most High that I had this family I've always wanted.
Oh, praises.
Yeah. I love you, Remy.
So, love you, baby. So let me just say, it's the Most High talks about the condition of the people through the history book where we would be at this time. I often say that, and the Most High said to Abraham in Genesis 15:13 that your descendants will go into a foreign country that's not their own and be enslaved there for 400 years. I always used to say I would have rather God said that they would be pimps and hoes and drug dealers or something there, not enslaved, because on a scale of 1 to 10, the worst any people anywhere could be is enslaved, right? So I would have rather it been on a 7 or 8 or something, pimps, hoes, and drug dealers or something, instead of saying enslaved. So the condition was the most severe that he said we would be in after these 400 years. So the Most High is not shocked about the condition of the people that he would send a specialized word to, right? And that's us, the remnant. So no one had, see, it's funny how the church has not been able to accommodate the world, the people of the world, because they are more serious than the people in the church. But the Most High brought us up out them gutters. So we're extremely relatable. The message is in us because we come from the message. We come from that, right? And so, like with Julia, myself, and a lot of us here come up out of different backgrounds, drug dealing. You don't have to. You blessed if you didn't. But I'm just saying, no one is tripping off you over here in the remnant, no matter where you think you've been. Because when you come around here, we'll be like, oh, welcome home, family. Yeah. It's like everybody here got a story like that. And it makes it a lot more comfortable instead of being in a place that you see when you're coming in, all eyes on you, people judging you and they talk. Ain't nobody in the remnant judge. What I'm gonna judge? I done been to federal prison. I done been to been on them streets. You know what I'm saying? So we create an environment where you can come home. And we ain't expecting you to be perfect before you come. We're telling you, you just come and you hear the information, allow the information to transition you like it's done all of us. We're not expecting you to come ready-made and perfect. We want you to come just as you are. If this message is for you and you can hear it, well, you come just as you are. We'll deal with the rest. We're not expecting for you, like a lot of churches be making you feel like, I can't go to church yet because I got to be clean. Right. In the remnant, we know you can't get yourself clean. You done tried that already, right? So get around your people who love you genuinely, no judgment, because how can we? You've heard certain stories from Liz last week and from a lot of the brothers and mine, you know. Just come home, right? So that we can give you what you've never had, and that's genuine love. Okay? Love you. Good job.
Love you too.
Okay, we're about to end it. We have classes on Mondays and Fridays. When you become a member in the classes, we don't hold classes back and sell it to you later. No, there's probably over 300 classes on different subjects like the one we talked about today. Once you become a part of the remnant, you have immediate access to 300 classes that you can go through at your leisure. All right? So, Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right? If this has resonated with you, come be a part. All praises to the Most High. We love you. Okay, let the ladies come first, please.